Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shalay and I'm a spiritual entrepreneur who has dedicated her entire life to living one that is intuitively led, and I basically document that process here on YouTube. Hi. It's currently 8 a.m. I've been up since 6:30. I've done a meditation, I've done a breath work, I was doing some visualization, and then I just got ready and I was like, you know what? Today I actually need to get out of the house. I honestly haven't been to a cafe to do work in about, I would say, months now. I feel like I just go through periods. There are some times where I really want to work at home and I'm really loving being in my own space. And then there are some times where I'm like, okay, being at home is driving me crazy. So I think I'm going to do that and get a coffee there. I'm looking forward to actually just like leaving the house today. So I've been home for a while now. I've honestly just been outside on the hammock, eating, reading a book. I just wanted to take it easy because I smashed out so much work in the morning at the cafe. I was also catching up on some voice notes that I have with a friend, and I was actually telling her of a download that I got the other day that I wanted to share with you because I thought it was really powerful. So I have my little plant here to demonstrate. When you're on this journey of living an intuitively led life and you're making decisions in your life that nobody around you has made, and it can feel fucking scary. I was having a bad day that particular day, and whenever I'm having like a bad day, I just call on my guidance team. I call on my guides. I'm like, help me see clearly, help me keep going. Every single time you call out to the universe literally delivers. Your guides will always be there for you. Your guidance system, your oversoul, it's always looking out for you. It will give you the answers that you were looking for. This was a moment that I asked for help, and I received the guidance like instantaneously, because then I just looked over to this particular plant. So when I received this plant, it had none of this going on. I wish I had a photo of it. It probably had like maybe just those two little strands that you can see in soil, but it hadn't bloomed yet. It was still really, really fresh. It wasn't like this at all. And then about 6 months went past and it grew like the tiniest amount. It was like hardly growing. And I was just thinking, fuck, is this plant ever going to grow? Like, it's been a long time. And then about a year went past and it like grew a little bit, but not exponentially. Like, it was still the tiniest bit. And at that point, I was really frustrated. I was like, is this ever going to fucking grow? Like, I just want it to grow. Now, I know that this sounds dramatic, but this is how I felt about this plant. So then I just let it go. I just stopped questioning when it was going to happen. It's probably been a year and a half since that point. And that day I looked down at that plant and I was like, this has grown so much. and it just felt like it happened out of nowhere. And I hadn't even noticed because the growth was so gradual. And there were moments where I was like, oh, it's growing a little bit, but then I'd forget about it again because I'd be like, it's not that substantial yet, right? It was just like little periods of growth until one day it just looks like this. And you're like, holy fucking shit, that's a really sexy plant. And it was just this reminder from my guides that like there is growth. Things are moving. The momentum is there in the life that you are creating. I don't know if any of that made sense, but it made sense in my head. It's really hard to translate what like higher dimensional beings are actually communicating with you sometimes. It's very like stoic and philosophical, and a lot of the time when I'm communicating like with my guides and with my higher self, it's telepathically and I'm energetically understanding it, and then to put words to it is like a whole different thing. I'm pretty sure that's a wasp. Is that a wasp? This is like the sliding window, so I'm not that gross, right? It's on the outside. I want to try and take it out, but it's literally jammed in there, and if I close this door, it's going to get squished. And then I'm scared to like leave it, and then it gets out and then stings one of the animals. But is that even a fucking wasp? No, that's sus as. Oh my god, it's on it. Oh my god. That lives there now. I don't own that broom anymore. He does. I had a crazy dream last night where I feel like a lot of subconscious shit came up, and it's really interesting because a couple of weeks ago, if you follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen me speaking about this already, but I kept getting the synchronicity throughout this entire day that I needed to get moonstone, and then I just completely forgot about it. About a week's gone past, so I was just preparing a bath last night, and I had these bath salts that I was gifted for my birthday about a year ago, and as I got to like the end of the packet, I saw this crystal sitting there, and in my head immediately I was like, what's the fucking bet that this is going to be moonstone? I looked at the packet and I saw that the crystal that was put inside this like bath salt mixture was in fact moonstone. So I've been spending so much time with moonstone, and I was like looking up the properties last night before going to bed. It actually said it helped with like lucid dreaming along with a bunch of other things as well. So it supports you in like new beginnings, it helps to like neutralize anxieties, stress, and things like that. And that was a lot of actually what my dream was about. I keep having this reoccurring dream that, this is interesting because I have a snake, but I have a reoccurring dream that I'm getting attacked by my snake, that I can't control her. And in the past, she's always just like bitten me and I've had no control over the situation, and then I would just like get up. And I've looked it up and it feels as though it's like feeling like unsettled in your reality, feeling like not safe in the world basically. And it makes sense with everything that I've been going through since the spiritual awakening, since completely changing my life. I am literally living a path that not many people walk. So of course, like my nervous system is going to be a bit like, holy shit, what the fuck, right? It's just like learning a new way of doing things and learning to be safe in this new way of life. So I'm aware of that, but it's interesting because as of recently, and this is also last night, it's like the snake's attacking me at the start of the dream. And then at the end of the dream, like with this particular dream, I ended up asking the universe for help. I was like, universe, please help me get this snake. And in the moment, I remember I just felt like it was like impossible. I was like, the snake is never going to like calm down. Like it's just rogue right now. And then all of a sudden it somehow calmed down. And within like seconds, I look under the bed and the snake is like defenseless and I'm able to actually handle it. I really like that because I feel like it's also showing the progression of like the work that I'm doing, the reprogramming work that I do on myself every single day. So if you want to learn about reprogramming, because it's just such an important part to all of this, I actually have a course called Transformed, Flirty and Thriving. It's a self-paced course that you do to actually reprogram your mind, so you can check that out in the description if you are interested. coffee today, and it was so not intentional. When they brought it out, I was like, holy shit. It was like this big. I'm that type of person that can only have like one coffee a day, and I can't have a large, like I can't have a double shot. The most I can have is like a shot and a half, and then I'm good for the day. Otherwise, if I do more than that, then I get really extremely anxious, and that's just what's happening right now. I'm just like, but I will say I got so much fucking work done at that cafe. So that's not a bad thing. I was kind of like buzzing and I was just like, ah. My intention wasn't actually to drink the whole thing, but it just kind of like happened. Anyway, I'm going to utilize all of this energy I have. I'm going to go outside and do some work until I just can't be fucked anymore. But I really want to work outside because the weather looks so beautiful. Yeah. I was just reading on the hammock and I just had the craziest realization. So at the start of 2022, I told this story, but my higher self came down to me and she was like, babe, I've got it from here. Just listen to me, right? Do everything I say and don't ask questions. And I did that from that point forward. But in that moment also came a vision, and I would connect to this vision from time to time. I still connect to this vision. Now, when I first saw this vision, what I saw was me in this like beautiful house that had like floor to ceiling windows, right? It was like it's my dream house, and I'm literally surrounded by nature. And I'm just coming off doing like a group call. At that point, I did not think that I was going to run group programs and be a teacher in this space. I honestly didn't know that I had this love for teaching. I didn't think that I did. So this wasn't even on my mind. So I remember when I saw that I was running like group programs and things like that, I was thinking that's a bit weird. And then I thought, and based on where I was then, I was like, that doesn't seem right. But I was just like, whatever, kind of going with it. And then I saw my study. My study, again, floor to ceiling windows. It was beautiful, but it had a bookshelf in it, right? A really large bookshelf. And I remember taking note of the bookshelf when I saw the vision, and I was like, that doesn't seem right either, because I actually haven't read a book since high school. So I've purchased audiobooks, yes, but I hadn't read a book since high school. So when I saw that bookshelf, I was like, why would we have a bookshelf? Like, that's so strange. And why would I keep it in my study? Like, I don't even like reading, you know? I don't have the patience for reading. What the fuck? It's like parts of the vision were resonating, and then the other parts just like didn't make sense to me. Anyway, it dawned on me. I'm sitting out there on my hammock and I'm nearly like through this book. This is like the 5th or 6th book that I've read in the series. I don't remember. I skipped the first 2 because I watched the series on Netflix. So I was like, I kind of know the story. So I thought that I wouldn't get as captivated, but I am going to go back and read 1 and 2 as well because I'm literally obsessed. But I'm sitting there having nearly finished this book in a matter of days, realizing that I've now become obsessed with reading. I'm on fucking book talk now, and I'm like just figuring out like the next series that I'm going to read, the next book that I'm going to get, like getting really excited. The obsession has grown, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy fucking shit. It's all coming together. When I saw that vision into the future, I didn't think that I was going to be doing group programs. I literally questioned it as I was looking at it. I was like, that doesn't seem right. But at that point, I'm like, not asking questions. I'm just doing what my intuition is telling me to do. And it actually goes back to like what I was saying yesterday about the plant. Like, these things are happening. There is motion, there is movement, but you're just living it. So it feels like it's going slower, but it's actually moving at like quite a rapid rate, and we don't even realize. And then one day you're just gonna fucking blink and it's there. You're in it and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I know that I'm gonna be looking back at this exact video soon enough and I'm gonna be thinking, holy fucking shit. Like, I was getting the guidance the entire time. And that's the thing. Your intuition is communicating with you. It literally knows how to get you there. It knows exactly how good life can get. You just have to be willing to actually trust it, to trust the voice. Even when it doesn't make sense, none of the steps that I took to get to where I am right now have made sense. It's just all unfolding perfectly, like better than I could ever even imagine. So in saying that, if this is something that you want to work on, if this is something that you struggle with, trusting your intuition, hearing your intuition, actually having a relationship with your intuition, then I have a new program out called Life on Purpose that will help you put your intuition in the driver's seat of your life so that you can start actually manifesting the life that you came here to live faster than you ever thought possible, right? No longer will life just be happening to you, you will be happening to life. Everything is working out for you, and finally, you know the exact steps forward that you need to take in order to actually manifest your desires. So if this is something you're interested in, it's going to be a 4-week container, and you can read all about the program in the description below. So we officially start in the first week of April. So the next day, I ended up getting a UTI, which I was really bummed about because it had been about 1.5 years since I got my last UTI. This was something that I used to struggle with a lot, but since going on my womb journey and my spiritual journey, I've really been energetically like cleansing this space and just really forming a relationship with my yoni. So with that, I've also been able to not have UTIs anymore, right? They just weren't a part of my experience until recently. But it's really funny because this happened with a lot of like old energy coming up. So it's definitely just energy moving through and things clearing, but nevertheless, I had to treat it. So I ended up picking rosemary from my garden because rosemary is antibacterial. And if I don't have my yoni herbal mixture that I actually purchased, then this is what I'll do. So this isn't actually advised because you have to be really specific with yoni steaming because you don't want to alter the flora of your yoni, and specific herbs can do that. So if you get like pre-herbal mixtures from professionals, then you can ensure that that's not going to happen. But intuitively, I was led to using rosemary. We grow it fresh anyway. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. And it's been working fine. But yeah, I do recommend the herbal mixtures particularly. But anyway, I didn't end up filming the rest of the day because I was in a pretty crummy mood because of the UTIs. So I'm gonna end it here, and I am sending you so much love. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.